welcome to my channel. Today we are going to be doing a reading vlog and you're going to be watching what I read the last week of July. Now obviously this is being posted in August. I completely forgot to intro this video and outro this video, so good going on me there. But yeah, I've pre-filmed some videos because I have a week where I'm not going to be able to film. So anyway, there we go. But let's just get started with the video. Gonna be mood reading is Before I Forget. I think I can also get this on Kindle Unlimited, so I'll probably go between the two, to be honest. I do want to pick up Giovanni's Room at some point this week, as well as Broken Country. Those are the two that are kind of still on my radar, but yeah, I don't know. That's what we're doing. It's also the 26th, so this mood reading vlog is going to be through the rest of the month, through the rest of July. I don't know when it's going to go up, to be honest. I've been pre-filming a bunch of videos just because I've had to for a variety of reasons. I promise you'll get caught up by the end of August. I do promise. It's just, yeah. So that's what's going on. This is going to be the next book, Before I Forget, by Tori Henwood Hohen. I've heard like mixed things about this, so I'm a little bit like nervous kind of going in, I guess. I don't know. Like I'm a little bit nervous going into it. I've heard, yeah. Okay, hello. I'm fully ready, even though it is like 6 or 7:30. I already went to the gym. I'm back. I've showered. All that kind of does. Anyway, while I was at the gym, I did manage to finish this. Okay, so I think my whole thing was this story had a lot of potential, but I think where the disconnect happened was Cricket, who was our main character. For whatever reason, like with a name like Cricket, you have kind of like a pre-existing idea of who she is. But then the way she was written was completely opposite, and it just was something was not clicking. And I think in that kind of situation is that this story is about Alzheimer's, and I do feel like I was never connected. So given the way it ended, I just didn't feel anything for anyone, and I just it was just a miss for me. Like I don't think it was bad. I think in theory it had a good idea, right? This person who has Alzheimer's, who is Cricket's dad, is slowly losing their memories, but also gaining the ability to tell the future. And so I think that's great in theory, really cool concept, but in practice, it was the characters that really didn't help this story at all. Okay, so the next book I'm going to read is actually Giovanni's Room by James Baldwin. I am hoping to finish this today. I do have things I have to do. I have work today as well, but it's only 169 pages, so I'm not super worried. I think it's pretty thin, and yeah. Oh, I forgot I got that. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna read next. From my understanding, yeah, I don't really know much about this. Like, I'm literally going in blind, so bear with me, everybody. So yeah, that's what's happening, and then I don't know what after that. I only have one more book that is on my, like, TBR that is not accounted for. So the other books are accounted for August, which is not August yet, which I'm sure by the time you're seeing this, it's definitely August. And then the other books I'm supposed to be holding for fall. However, I'm going to start diving into those because if I can finish all of them, I'm happy. So, this is next. Okay, hello. I'm like getting ready to hit the gym. I'm a little bit running behind, but it's okay. So I did finish Giovanni's Room last night. I honestly just sat in the house because again, there is a heat wave in Southern California. If you're watching this, I'm sure there isn't. I have no idea because you guys are in the future. Like I said, I'm pre-filming a lot because I have a week in August where I'm not going to be able to really be online, be on my computer, all of that jazz. Anyway, so this is, yeah. It kind of feels a little bit Call Me By Your Name-ish, but also so much better. And if you like queer history, I would really suggest this. Look, it's a 180 page book. Like, it's not crazy. Actually, it's 170 pages. Anyway, so at the gym, I'm taking Broken Country. This is technically the last book that I was planning on reading, other than my August TBR, but I am gonna read it. I'm obviously just gonna read as many as I can, um, for reasons that eventually you will know. Um, so yeah, that's what's going on. I'm gonna read Broken Country on at the gym. I don't know how far I'll get, but I don't think it's that massive, so I might be able to get through it while I'm at the gym. We shall see. It's 303, so there's potential I might finish this on the elliptical today. Um, and then I want to read a nonfiction, I think. I have a book about women's reproductive health that I'm really itching to get into at this point because I have been reading a lot of literary fiction and a lot of romance. So I'm kind of getting like a little like bored of it, so I really want to read like something else, maybe a thriller or something. So, okay, I finished this at the gym. Um, this had me sat until the ending, and then it just lost me. I didn't love the ending of this. Um, but I loved the family dynamic. I loved the like mystery of it all that was weaved throughout it. I loved all of that. But the ending, like, what were we doing? Like, Claire Leslie Hall, what are we doing here? Like, this was not it for me. But had me sat until the last like 5 page, like 10 pages or so. Anyway, what we are gonna read next is Reproductive Wrongs, a short history about women. So this is what we're gonna read next. It's pretty small, so should be able to finish this today. I still have a couple more nonfiction. Both are about chronic illness, so you'll see those being read at some point. I'm not sure when. Anyway, so we're making progress. Okay, wow, it's very dark in here. Anyway, let's talk about this. So this to, oh my gosh. Okay, guys. So this to me, while it does kind of walk through the history of like women's reproductive health, it does focus a lot on unaliving a, a baby. I don't, or like in utero, it talks about abortion. I should just say that cleanly and not care about the algorithm. But it talks a lot about abortion and the history of abortion. So it goes through like the ancient Greek times all the way up to modern times. What I appreciate about that is I didn't really know a lot of that like history in the ancient world, but I like there was a part in the middle where we were talking about like Christianity. I just didn't I don't know. I didn't care about. So that's my thoughts on it. I think it was good. I think especially if you want more of like the historical and a little bit of political side of abortion, this is the right route to go. And it's relatively small. So if you're looking for something like that, I would really encourage it. Definitely if you're not American, I don't know how much this would because I think especially towards the end of the book, she talks a lot about like what's happening in the US in regards to abortion. And I think while other countries are becoming more conservative, I'm not sure it hits the same as it does here, but you'll have to let me know. Anyway, with that being said, the next book is The Lost Bookstore. I don't think I'm going to start this tonight because, well, it is 3:30 and I probably could. Not gonna lie, it's not gonna happen. It's been a very long day of applying for jobs and I'm just tired. And I just don't have it in me. But yeah. So this is gonna be the next book. I'm hoping to get it done tomorrow. Again, normally I don't like to like read books in a day. Like obviously I can, but I don't like to do that because I just feel like it's just like so quick. But with where I'm at, I just want to be done, guys. Like it still feels like I have so many more to go. I have like 16 books left and I'm just like over it, I think at this point, but it should be okay, guys. We'll get there. Anyway, that's what's going on. Okay, so I am I haven't read any of The Invisible Kingdom, which I wish I would have, but honestly, it's been a pretty stressful and crazy day and pretty upsetting. So, while if I want to read something, um, which I'm not sure I want to or not, right now, but I'm going to read Mannies and Mouthguards by Katie Keller. So this is the second. I have read the first one, but I don't remember too much from the first one. I remember the first one had to do with hockey. This has to do with rugby. So yeah, that's what we're doing. Uh, because honestly, I just don't think I can take any more like of being upset today. Okay, I've not walked at all today, and it's 5:15. I just finished Mannies and Mouthguards. It was very good. I think I did none of that on camera. I am not doing well this week. Um, Yesterday was like a little bit mental, and I am feeling better, but anyway, I had some situations that got sorted out. But anyway, that is done. I really liked it. I think my only confusion was the end. I was like, oh, did he go get a PhD? Which he did. Um, but it was emotional. It hit. I was like crying at the end. So I was completely happy about that. Anyway, I do actually need to read this. I'm like really behind. But I think I'm gonna read this tonight. And hopefully it's okay. I don't know. I don't know. So that's what I'm gonna do while I'm watching TV tonight. I don't know what we're watching. I think we might be watching Hawaii Five-O. So yeah. And then if I finish this, hopefully tonight, I am gonna probably read this tomorrow, which is The Book That Broke the World. This kind of is, it seems like, kind of feels like the Lost Bookshop, but also it seems like there is seems like there's like a game to it. So this would be next. Okay, love that I was out of focus that entire time reading this. But anyway, just finished this. Glad I finished it. It was very good. It was documenting the author's journey with trying to get diagnosed with a chronic illness, also how she like is living with it, having babies, living her life, and I resonated to a lot of it just because obviously I have multiple chronic illnesses. I would say, yeah, I think it focused a lot on Lyme disease and like COVID, like long COVID and stuff, and that's not what I have, but it did focus a little bit on CFS and ME as well. So, you know, and Epstein-Barr and everything. So, very well researched, very well done. Would recommend if you are trying to get diagnosed or are newly diagnosed with a chronic illness. Highly recommend. Okay, so I don't think I'm going to start the book that broke the world tonight, obviously, because pretty late. I don't know if I'll like pull something. I don't know. I'm probably gonna get to this tomorrow when I'm at the gym. So yeah, it's currently late, so I'm gonna go ahead and go watch TV and chill a little bit. Okay, hello. I was gonna bring this to the gym, like I said last night, the book that broke the world. However, this I didn't realize is part of a series. And I don't have book one. This is book two. Well, it's not really a series, it's a trilogy. So I don't have book one. So can't read this. I will eventually get book one. But I'm going to bring Little One by Olivia Munter? Anyway, is what I'm bringing. So what I understand about this is it's someone comes from a cult. And now, I don't know. That's about all I know about it. Like, there's a cult involved, so that's what I'm bringing to the gym. I am gonna have my pre-workout, and then I'm going to go to the gym. All right, hello. I have about 50 pages of Little One left. I really enjoy it, but I have like 10 minutes before I have to leave for work, so I don't think I'm gonna get to finishing it this morning, but I'll read a little bit more once I finish eating. And then I'm probably gonna read this, and that'll be the last book of July because it is the 31st. It's the morning at 7:30, so I'm sure I can get this done. It's a little over 200 pages, so I'm sure that I'll be able to read it. Little One, but let me give you my review so far. I would say this was marketed as a thriller to me, and it is not that. I would say it's a literary fiction with conversations about a cult. And what I will say about this that's different from other books that I have read similarly is that it's not a religious cult. So it's like a health crunchy kind of cult. I mean, there are some crazy things that happen, but in terms of like religion, it's not steeped in that, which I think I was a little worried about going in. So that's what I will say on it. That's my review. And I mean, unless something changes in the last like 50 pages, like that's how I feel about it. Okay, so I did end up finishing this at work. I really liked it. I think the ending. I don't know if I would like say I loved the ending by any means, but I definitely didn't hate it. I think my problem with the ending was it just didn't feel like complete, I guess. I don't know how else to like describe it other than that. Um, like it had this like kind of open-ended. I guess it was like closed, but it still felt a little open. If that doesn't make any sense, but I definitely think it was left for audience interpret, like reader interpretation. That's all I'm going to say. So I did start this. I'm only on chapter 2. I definitely intend to finish this today. Work was very, very long today. And so I just need to like, I'm going to go on a walk. I just had lunch. I'm going to go on a walk and then kind of recalibrate and then read this. But so far so good. I think it's really interesting talking about endometriosis. So I'm sat for it. But anyway, like I said, just kind of a long day of work that I just... Okay. Sorry, I just did something that I have been avoiding for probably 7 weeks. And, it's like breaking me a little bit. Anyway, with that being said, I am reading this. I'm literally almost done with it. I think I have, I don't know, like 60 something pages. I will say this book, if you know anyone with endometriosis or have endometriosis, I would highly suggest this and Vagina Problems by Laura E. Parker, both amazing books. This talks a lot more about like the medical part of endometriosis. So like the studies, they did a autopsy or like an autopsy of a body, like that kind of stuff. And I think that is really different and sets this apart from a lot of other books. So I will definitely be able to finish this tonight. Which then will wrap up this video, obviously, because it is July 31st. So, anyway, that's what's happening. Alrighty, thank you for watching. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. What did you read in the last week of July? And I will see you guys next time. Bye!